Hello everyone, this is Mirza Naeem. In this video lecture, we are going to revise first unit. Let's get started. So first unit is all about water supply engineering. So we'll see concepts behind water supply engineering. The first concept we have to understand or learn is source of water or raw water source. Raw water source. So it is classified into two groups, right? Let's say this is my surface, right? So imagine this is the surface of earth. So I'm going to classify into two groups. One is surface water and the second one is subsurface, right? Easy to remember. First one is surface water, second one is subsurface water. Okay, so now what are the source in subsurface water and what are the water source in subsurface? Let's see. Surface water consists of includes such as pond and lake, right? Second one will be stream and river, right? The third one will be ocean, etc. Storage reservoirs or any general natural or artificial reservoirs comes under surface water, okay, or else surface source of water. Now we'll see subsurface source of water. Subsurface source of water. So let's say A will be springs, right? The B will be infiltration wells, and the third one will be wells and tube wells, which is man-made, right? We have to construct tube wells and wells. So these are comes under subsurface, right? So next we have water quality. So how you test the water quality? So I want to test the water quality, but how? So we can analyze water by three parameters or three characteristics, that is physical, we can test by a physical character, second one will be chemical, chemical, and the third one will be bacteriological characteristics. So you can test a water by three parameters or three characteristics, that is physical, chemical and biological. So we'll see each one in detail. So physical, we can test turbidity, what is the nature of turbidity in that particular water sample. Color, you can see with your naked eye. Taste, odor, that is smell, and the temperature of the given sample. Next, you can test by chemical characteristics in laboratory, that is pH, potential of hydrogen present in that sample, acidity, alkalinity, hardness, chlorides, sulfates, iron, all these minerals going to be present in water sample. So we can test by some titration methods in laboratory. Next, we have bacteriological characteristics. So it is very important since we can indicate degree of pollution. If you know the characteristics of bacteria or biological characteristics, you can know the degree of pollution, right? So even some fine suspendable matter will remove, and acidity, alkalinity can maintain, but bacteria will still present in water. And what will happen? What is the main reason? This species, one or more species of disease producing bacteria, that is pathogenic organisms, causes waterborne diseases, right? Because of this pathogenic bacteria, because of this harmful pathogenic bacteria, waterborne diseases will cause, right? The next we'll talk about, we'll try to understand waterborne diseases. Okay, so waterborne diseases caused by pathogenic microorganisms. It will infect commonly by or during bathing, washing, or by consuming this contaminated water. It is also present in the food, right? So World Health Organization estimated that 4.1% from total global diseases is caused by waterborne, right? It is very important to remember that globally 4.1 diseases is only caused by waterborne, right? So try to remember that. Unfortunately, 1.8 million human dies annually. So it's 1.8 million every year are dying because of this waterborne diseases. So waterborne diseases includes the following. These are few waterborne diseases. Remember, for exam point of view, that is polio, malaria, cholera, dengue, scabies, typhoid, anemia, etc. So transmission of waterborne diseases spread by contaminating drinking water system, right? It is spread by contaminated drinking water, right? So infected by people or animals by their urine or by their waste. It is also spread by landfilling, improper landfilling, right? or it will be spread by leakage of sewer lines, septic fields, industries, right? So how to prevent this? So preventing waterborne diseases means we have to supply a clean water is required to reduce waterborne diseases. So as a civil engineer, we have to make sure that our sewer lines which we are designing is proper, and it should not have any leakages, and we are going to design the sewerage system which consists of sewage treatment plants, water distribution system. So it's a duty of a civil engineer to maintain this quality. Okay.